the light in your eyes.
In July 2022, Ron Moon led a four-wheel drive group through the central deserts of South Australia and Western Australia, mainly following the rocket roads established by legendary Len Biddell.
I don't want
An exception is the David Carnegie Road, which forms a north-south connection between the Great Central Road and the Gunbarrel Highway. The original road was constructed by the Eagle Oil Company to support its 1980s petroleum exploration work and became known as the Eagle Highway. Carnegie and his team completed a remarkable 5,000 kilometre expedition through the desert with the aim of identifying gold deposits and pastoral land. In 1996, southern half of the Eagle Highway was renamed the David Carnegie Road. Our northward run up the David Carnegie Road started at the Tjukayirla Roadhouse after getting fuel, groceries and one of their great burgers. The plan was to spend 2 days on the track.
else, 'cause I know there's not anyone else that makes me feel the way you do. It's easy to
Our first camp was only a few kilometres from the Great Central Road intersection. The road itself is best described in two halves. The section south of Empress Springs is wide and well graded to service the tourist traffic to the springs. By contrast, the northern section is rough, narrow and has numerous washouts.
anyone else. I don't want anyone.
After leaving our camp, the first landmark is Bluff, a small stone rise and gorge lined with caves that Carnegie named after his second in charge.
I don't want anyone else but you.
It was a tight squeeze parking everyone in there, but we were soon exploring the many caves and grottos in the sandstone escarpment.
Makes me feel the way you do. It's easy to prove. I don't want anyone else but you. I don't want anyone.
From Bluff, it was only a short run to the next main draw card on the track, Empress Springs. In early August 1896, Carnegie's team were in real trouble, with water supplies almost exhausted. In desperation, they captured an Aborigine and demanded that he take them to water. Eventually, he led them to the underground cavern and spring that Carnegie named Empress Springs in honour of Queen Victoria. Well, this is Empress Springs along the David Carnegie Road, and luckily somebody's put a ladder to get down here, otherwise you'd be climbing down tree trunks like I guess the indigenous people used to. But it's a really big cave system down here. Like it's really much bigger than you would think. So yeah, this well or spring was responsible for saving some lives when an Aborigine showed the Carnegie group during their expedition where to find the water. At the moment it's dry, but thankfully it had water in it when his expedition party desperately needed it. Now I need to climb back out. After having lunch at the spring, we continued northward. As mentioned earlier, road maintenance seems to end at the spring, with the track getting rougher and more narrow the further north we go. The initial section traverses stony ground with limestone rises. This soon opens onto flat country, carpeted by low scrub and spinifex.
There's still a light inside the darkness. Sometimes
Occasional sections have the vegetation closing in on the track until we are once again running with the side mirrors tucked in as we squeeze through a narrow lane between clawing mulga and acacia scrub.
Sifting through the rubble, chipping at a broken wall. It won't all be perfect, but it can be beautiful. We can make it better than it ever was. I know the road is long, but we're not giving up.
Washouts and erosion ruts become more of a hazard, with bypass tracks around the worst sections.
Gonna stop this flood. We can make it better than it ever was. We can make it better than it ever was. I know the road is long, but we're not giving up. Love is taking over now. Nothing's gonna stop this love. We can make it better than it ever was.
Scratchy tracks like this really justify the cost of having paint protection film put on the cruiser and TVAN.
I can see the picture of that bottle of liquor left home that December.
Eventually, we break out into open country again and find a place to prop for the night, after first gathering some firewood along the track.
Standing there on the street, and you said, "Do you wanna go see the world, not grow old? We can be anything that we dream. We'll be like kings and queens running these city streets. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. Build it up to burn it down. Nothing can stop us now. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. We'll be like. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. We'll be like. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. Woke up in Las Vegas. Broke down, but glad we made it.
A restful night and an early start. We're soon on the track and it dishes up more of the same, with another abandoned camper providing a distraction not far from where we left.
Got no gold, but I have you standing here next to me. And you said, "Do you wanna go see the world, not grow old? We can be anything that we dream. We'll be like." We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. We'll be like. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. We'll be like kings and queens running these city streets. We're gonna rule the world. We're gonna rule the world. Build it up to burn it down.
As we approach the northernmost end of the track, there are more claypans between the stony rises, and then we break out of the track onto the Gunbarrel Highway. We take a chance to check out the Mangkili Claypan. Unfortunately, there is very little water in the Claypan and therefore no birds or other animals to entertain us. So I've been monitoring this left trailer shock for a while, and it had a little hint of oil, but I'm afraid that last track has popped the seal or something, so we're dropping a lot of oil there. See, it's even dripping on the wheel and tyre. So when we get to camp tonight, we'll have to take the wheel off and replace that shock absorber. The other one's good. After lunch, we turned eastward onto the Gunbarrel Highway, which truly did feel like a highway after the last section of the David Carnegie Road. Our destination for tonight's camp is the Geraldton Historic Society bore, a bore drilled by CRA in 1989 to support their exploration work, and later fitted with a hand pump in 2007 to support desert travellers just like us. An early arrival in camp also provided me with the time to replace that leaking trailer shock absorber, with enough water to get cleaned up and have a shower when we were finished. Well, there we've got the new shocky in. Clean up the wheel studs and pop that wheel back on. The TVAN shocky was replaced at 19,090 kilometres, which I've been told is typical for TVANs doing a lot of outback work on high-speed gravel roads. I'll put a link here showing the installation of the GPS odometer for trailer maintenance tracking. David Carnegie published his journals and memoirs in a book called Spinifex and Sand, and it's a great reference for those interested in his exploration work. Well, that wraps up the David Carnegie Road. Tomorrow we start along the Gowrie Highway, so jump on board, subscribe or keep an eye out for the next vlog. See you soon.